Hello, folks. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about survival of the fittest. I was recently wondering about, you know, dumb people. I know it's a very rude term, stupid people or whatever. I think survival of the fittest, like in the modern era, because in the old era, I think it was just about being strong, being smart, being able to defend yourself, and also being able to fight and whatnot. But in this era, you don't need too much of that. It's a peaceful era mostly, right? Um, I mean, there are wars, yes, but compared to very old times, I think now it's way better in many places, many countries. So, what is the survival of the fittest in the current era, right? I think people need some level of and some amount of money, time, and some amount of privilege, um, and they need to actually want to be alive and want to survive and want to thrive. I believe that because if they don't want to be alive and survive and thrive, they might not work towards it. So, first, I think they should want it and they should probably be working towards it actively and not passively or unintentionally, but more actively, so that they understand that they can probably survive. And this is not just about being alive, but it is also about being alive, by the way. Because, for example, let's say you're driving, right? To be alive, you have to actually be safe uh, while you drive. Let's say you're driving a two wheeler, you need to have a helmet, a good helmet. If you're dumb, the stuff that you'll do is, let me tell you stuff that I've seen people do: riding really, really fast without wearing a helmet, or just riding really fast but wearing a helmet, but not a great helmet, very simple helmet. It looks like a hat than a helmet. Um, or it looks like a good helmet, it looks, that's all, but it's not a good helmet and all that. And riding rash. So, stupid people, dumb people are probably running towards, you know, thrills. Speed thrills, yes, but it also kills. So, uh, the thing is, they want that thrill and whatnot at the cost of losing their life, probably. Or they are too confident that they will not lose their life, but then probability, it depends. A lot of people do die from road accidents, for example. So, survival of the fittest, you need to be alive, and for that, you need to be a bit smart and a bit smart, and or maybe fortunate, privileged. Privilege, I think, is a lucky thing. I don't know. Some people go ahead and grab that privilege, snatch it, and whatnot. So when it comes to privilege, it's about money, time, freedom, um, multiple things, and then your parents, your family, or whatever. There are multiple things. So people aim for it and get it somehow, grab it, snatch it, or they think they just don't have it and leave it in case they don't have it. But like for example, in case of safety, you need to have a good house, a roof over your head, say something to protect your foot from stepping on, say something sharp, glasses or whatever, good food, nutritious food to eat. You need some amount of money to buy all this, get all this, afford all this, and you need to have, say, if you're driving a two wheeler, you need first of all have a two wheeler. You need to buy that, and then you need to buy a good helmet. Good helmets are costly most of the time these days. So the good brands and safe ones. It's not easy to find a good brand or a good enough brand and a safe one for a cheaper cost. It's harder. As usual, finding the cheapest one or a good, worth it one is not that easy. You need to actually do your research. So yeah, dumb people, they might just not wear a helmet and ride really fast on a two wheeler and just go ahead and die. Or even if it's a car or whatever they're driving, Jeep or whatever, sedan, SUV, whatever it is, they drive really fast and crash because they couldn't control their speed and they couldn't brake too soon and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, they were just stupid, right? Survival of the fittest, and dumb people will die. So I think it's like how they say, curious cat, you know, killed itself. Like basically because it's very curious and it just did something out of curiosity and just died or something like that. And yeah, sometimes these days when I'm driving, I'm like, when people go fast, I hope that guy dies. Yeah, I know how crazy that is, but I'm like, hmm, at least he should know that there are consequences, and hopefully he shouldn't hit someone else, and they shouldn't have to face the consequences of this guy speeding up. But yeah, that is an unfortunate thing that can happen very much. I mean, I know, I do believe that everyone is worthy of love, worthy of happiness, worthy of feeling like they belong, and worthy of course, living, to be able to feel loved, feel happy, and all that. It's just that sometimes when I see these people racing towards something or the other, just riding really fast on the roads and riding really rash in a city road within the city, um, and that too in India, a very populated country where every square foot, every inch, there is someone usually. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, this guy will die soon, or this person will die soon, or when I see a car going really fast, come on, hit it, come on, crash, crash, crash. So crash onto some other vehicle and whatnot, whatever. Right? So because only then there will be more evidence and clarity that okay, driving rash is not a good thing. I was recently driving a bit really fast. I didn't realize, and I had to brake really hard, and I realized my back tire was actually moving around because of the braking system of my basic vehicle. I need to make it better, and I'm starting to ride slower because in my hometown, like, or in the place that I was in before in Chennai, for example, I used to drive late at night and there was no one, and I could easily just go fast. I didn't realize how fast I was going. I would have known only if I would have known if I had started braking more and whatnot, or braking suddenly and all. The thing is, when you go really fast, it's hard to brake suddenly and stop suddenly. That's not how science works. So there will be some level of inertia, and there will be some problem or the other, some skidding or whatever. So you need to be really careful when you're going in a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, whatever you're driving. Driving is a very serious thing. People in India or generally in the world, people drink and drive. So there are a lot of drunk and drive or drink and drive cases. Drunken driving is like drunk driving is like very common, I think, these days. And then I don't know, people do bullshit. People lose their sleep and then drive so bad. It is so bad that they start falling asleep. So you should be really careful about your sleep also. Usually you wouldn't, but then if your sleep is so bad that you have not slept at all and your body is just trying to shut down automatically even though you don't want to shut down, and the body is forcing you to shut down out of even and it's like pushing you from not being from being awake and pushing you to sleep, and like, and your force to actually be awake is less and the body's force to sleep is more. The moment you start losing your force and intention to be awake, and that's it, you lose your control because you're starting to sleep, and that's all. If you're driving, that's just the worst nightmares, I would say. That comes to reality if it happens. um, yeah, I mean, survival of the fittest. So be alive, do stuff that keeps you alive. Don't do stuff like rash driving, eating junk, eating shit. No matter how demure, in however demure way you eat shit, shit is still shit. It is not anything healthy. So don't just look at your table manners, look at your food and see how good it is, how healthy it is. Can it keep you alive and safe and healthy and nutritious? So yeah, survival of the fittest. I think many will die. Let's see. It's an unfortunate thing, but that's how things work, I guess. A lot of companies are trying to make products and services that enables people to make themselves unhealthy, and they will die at some point if they overuse or overconsume those products and services. For example, products, just junk food, very unhealthy food. There is no one looking at the amount of unhealthy food that you eat. There is no one to regulate it, no one to control how much you eat. Do you eat less? Do you eat more or whatever? No one is there to even uh, measure and calculate how much you have eaten on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, in the whole of your life, and all the kind of different health conditions that you have had and whatnot. No one is measuring that completely to be able to say you should just stop eating this because you're going to have a lot of problems. Ideally, we should just take care of ourselves, and it's a tricky thing, I know, but that's how it works, I guess. Either you have to take care of yourselves or someone has to take care of you, and you should allow them to. So, anyways, so yeah, survival of the fittest. That's all I had for this video. That's the next one. Bye bye.